It's like I'm in some sort of a horror movie. Hi, guys. We're here. Holler live stream time.
I want that light on.
I'd like that light on. Yeah. We're working on a little bit of lighting here. We're in a different spot from usual. We are at base camp today because Jenny is cooking, and I have a weird glare here. There we go.
We're at yonder.
We're at base camp. Anyway, we just had a really good dinner of meatloaf and duck and bacon-wrapped asparagus, so she gets the prize for the week probably. Here's Nighthawk. Tactical will join us when he's done eating. So, Twilight action. Yep. Is that like Twilight the vampire movie, or are we talking about the time of day?
Hopefully the time of day.
It must be. Yeah, it's like when I felt like I was holding a. Let's see, there's Tactical. He's eating his dinner. Anyway, so today we thought we'd talk through a little bit. We haven't actually talked this topic through that much.
No,
but there are 4 of us all living next door to each other now in the Holler. And that means we can leverage our shared dollars to have a communal pantry. But then a lot of questions come up because there are different dietary restrictions. Like this guy can't eat anything, but he can eat sugar and carbs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm keto. You're
whatever.
paleo-ish.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Tactical is food. Okay. But he doesn't eat very many carbs. And so what does that mean for the shared pantry?
A lot of those things are very similar, though, kind of.
Yeah.
Guess that means I'm eating all the bread.
Hi, Oxy. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Preparing to Thrive. What? Where are the thermostats? Oh, there's going to be an insurrection about the thermostats if we don't get that done.
All right, put it on my list. Gonna hate
That's bacon-wrapped asparagus.
and bacon.
Don't spill it on my keyboard.
No, you jinxed it.
Back off. So anyway, I mean, so how do you think we should approach it? Because, like, here's what Tactical and I have worked out right now. And I'll back up so you can see Tactical too. And we have to get, cozy again. Your couch is a little more conducive to
It
this
is,
than mine.
yeah.
So what we agreed was that when there are things we share, hi Landry, that little elf lives here. When we share things, we just split the cost 50-50 of the things that we both will be getting into. If it's something that only I eat, like my special chocolate or whatever, 100% me. And then it's stored a combination of the prepper pantry at my house, and then in the cabin where he lives, I'm documenting that in a spreadsheet, and then that's it. Well, that's really simple. Now there's 4 of us, so how do we extrapolate from that?
More spreadsheets.
More spreadsheets. That sounds like a lot of spreadsheet work. I don't like spreadsheet work. Does that mean you're volunteering to do the spreadsheet work?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Possibly.
What do you think, Jenny?
Well, we could all just have a pot we all toss money in, and all the shared things get purchased from that, and then we just buy our own things.
That's how we did it in Germany.
Yeah.
I lived on a floor that had 12 people, and it was one kitchen that we all shared. And for all of the spices and cooking oils and stuff like that, the floor father or whatever, he'd come around and collect money in a little thing and then replace spices as they needed to be. Mm-hmm. That worked pretty well.
Yeah.
It was really fun to have that explained to me in German when my language skills were very good. And I figured out what was going on. I was like, oh yeah, here, you had to buy in for 10 marks because I was in Germany. I was living in Germany so long ago, they still had marks and not euros. Okay, what do we got going on here? Bobby did keto. half year ago and went from 205 to 140. Cool. I've only lost 20 pounds, but I'm not being very disciplined. It's kind of an issue.
So the first time I did keto, though, I lost 106 pounds in like 11 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Oxy says that she loves spreadsheets. So we need Oxy to buy the 5th house.
Yes, we do.
And move here and do the spreadsheet.
Moxie and the Holler would be awesome.
It'd be
Oh, my
great.
God, yeah.
Yeah. Is your dog going to be a circus animal? Because she jumps really high.
She does.
She's like, Tactile's dog is like this big, right? And he's, how tall are you?
6'4".
He's 6'4", and she like can do the jump thing and look at him in the face, without touching him. It's kind of funny.
My dog has actually come back. Like my dog actually came back the other day with a deer. A deer that was as big as she is.
Yeah.
In her mouth. And she just brought the deer back.
Yeah, Loretta, we're at base camp, which she has renamed Yonder. But it's base camp in all of my business documents, so I'm still calling it. But anyway, so we're here, and that's the background you're seeing. What we're doing right now is Monday. Who cooks Monday? Nighthawk. Who cooks Tuesday? Me. Who cooks Wednesday? Tactical. Thursday. And then Friday, Jenny has 2 sons, and they're making breakfast for dinner this Friday, so they're going to cook, which is kind of exciting. So back to the shared pantry, though. I like that idea of the pooled money. The other thing I'm thinking of, like, I like to can and preserve stuff. I see really good deals at the farmer's market, and I jump on them. Like, to what extent do we have participation from everybody versus not? Or do you prefer to do your own canning? In your spare time?
What's that? No, I like to do my own canning, too. But,
Yeah.
things that we both eat, we can pull in on that, too, like green beans and stuff.
Yeah. I haven't seen any green beans at the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am getting tomatoes this weekend.
Oh,
though.
awesome.
The
Yeah, it's
tomato
awesome.
fair is coming to visit.
Yay.
So not only we're going to have a lot of tomatoes to put up this year. So what are your thoughts on the pantry stuff?
We trimmed the tomatoes in the salsa.
Some of them,
Most of them? All of them?
not all of them.
Oh.
Some of us like spaghetti sauce that is a marinara sauce. Yeah.
Yep.
Some of us like pizza sauce. It's all coming from tomatoes. He differentiates between marinara and pizza sauce because it's thicker.
It is.
Yeah. You can just cook marinara sauce down and then it's pizza sauce.
That takes a lot of work.
Meh, not really. Start the crock pot, walk away. Put it on low, leave the lid off.
Yeah, but you gotta pour it in the crock pot. First, you gotta set the crock pot.
You gotta pour it in the crock pot.
And then you gotta turn it on.
Yeah.
And then you gotta remember to check on it. We have enough behind us.
Preparing to Thrive nailed it. You're weird. He eats carbs and sugar and doesn't like marinara sauce but likes pizza sauce.
I don't care for pizza sauce anyways. It just works better than the marinara sauce.
It sounds like communism. That's what it looks like.
Jenny.
And is he just figuring that out now? He's a little late to the party.
Apparently. What do you think about pantry management?
Yes.
Yes? You have no thoughts?
It's enough, Landry.
You do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah?
I keep some stuff in the house for when I go back tonight and I get hungry because it's late and blah, blah, blah. I'll have something that I can, like, between what I have in the fridge and my aquaponic system, I can cut, a couple of green onions and some sweet potato greens and throw it on a tortilla and make a little snack for later on tonight. But other than that, my dog needs a good whooping. But
He gets distracted easily. So
yeah.
you just want to keep it where it is?
Yeah, I mean, you do a pretty good job of keeping stocked on stuff, and we've upped. I mean, with the meat chickens that we've got now, I mean, I've got 30 sitting on my back porch. I've got, another 6 that are
In the
a
tractor.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's all going in the freezer, I mean, if we have to, we could go to the store and buy whatever, but
But what are the downfalls of this? Like, what are the risks we have of a shared pantry? The big risk is that somebody puts more in than what they take out, right? Are we worried about that? Samantha says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Actually, she said ... because she knows I know the rest of that phrase.
I think that, the one problem that we have with the shared pantry so far is the fact that we haven't really figured out the management of it, of who's putting in what. I mean,
It's
we all
mine.
kind of put into it. We all kind of eat out of it.
Yeah.
But the one downfall, and this is a general statement, and just in general with all of the stuff around here is, we kind of need to work out the financials a little more.
Yeah, I think we need to track that better. And we will. I kind of like the pooled money thing for very specially defined things. So I'd like to kind of suss that out. So if everybody put $10 in today, we'd have $40. What sorts of things would we buy from that pool?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. That's been on his list. I'm like, do you want to participate in the pantry? He's like, sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I've got a question in from the Swede saying, do you guys go fishing as a staple? I don't go fishing because I'm not patient enough. And that's because my superpower is preserving food and storing food. My superpower is not hunting food. If I had to hunt, I would try really hard and probably eventually get something, but I haven't even spent enough time trying to hunt. Like, I raise the animals, I process the animals, they're right there, right? Other people in the community have the superpower of being good hunters. And if you're there, Tactical, I can just move the whole thing in. We can actually see what people are saying.
I'm just being here so I can yell at my dog.
Okay, so what they do is they'll hunt, and then I will process in exchange for a portion of the deer meat or whatever. Are any of us fishers?
I fish.
She
Yeah.
fishes. So
It's been a long
so she may
time
go
since I've
fishing
done
and
fishing.
put fish in.
Right.
Yeah, these two don't fish. When was the last time you went hunting?
Hunting?
Yeah.
I was in high school.
High school? You?
3-4 years ago.
Yeah. So,
Fishing, I think I was still in middle school last time I went.
yeah.
Well, I guess fishing 2 years ago.
Yep.
I know in PA you need to, once you hit 16 to fish, you have to buy a license. I never bought a license.
Okay.
So
So maybe we
It
need
has
a
been a while.
I
pond.
should have done that.
Maybe we need a community pond.
We have a pond.
Well,
We have aquaponics.
That's true.
We have all the tools we need to go fishing in our backyard.
I know, but like the fish are not large enough. I'm just saying we should expand on that more.
oh, they're like sardines.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, my goldfish aren't exactly what we want to eat, right?
Yeah.
Like, we may want to raise different. When are we building the Miyagi? Oh, God,
I've been
it's amazing.
trying to talk her into expanding the aquaponics for like months.
Well, I don't want to expand anything till we finish the things that we're starting. So,
A Miyagi? I saw that. That's a lot of heavy timber.
yeah.
There's a stock tank that we can integrate into her aquaponics system right now.
But that's not what she said. She said Miyagi. That's a lot of heavy timber.
A Miyagi is bigger, and your fish will have more space, and then they can get bigger. That's my thought with the Miyagi.
She has like a 200-gallon stock tank.
Anyway, back to the pantry. So, so we would buy maybe some farmers market stuff with that.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own spices, and I feel like everybody's already managing their own spices. So don't don't mess with that, except for him. But sometimes I borrow spices from him, and sometimes he borrows spices from me. But I'm growing herbs and processing them. So then in my stored stuff, we end up having dried sage, for example. Like you shouldn't buy sage. Do you buy sage?
No, I don't even know what to use sage for.
Okay. It's really good in ground pork.
It's really good in dressing.
It's really good in stew.
Really good in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go buy some sage.
You don't need to. No, don't go buy sage. That's my point. There's a giant sage bush in my house, and I dry it all the time. Yeah, I got sage.
I've got
You have a
enough.
process
I
now?
got a
Yeah.
sage
Well, you
plant
can use
right
it
now that I
fresh.
can take cutting off of and beat you with it. It's that big.
He's always so violent. His love language is telling people he's going to beat them with things, I guess.
Oh, you don't love me, Tactical? He's never threatened to beat me.
No, he's probably threatened to beat other people on your behalf. That's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I'll
loves
take
you.
it then.
Yeah, he loves you. Yeah, rosemary. I've actually got a rosemary plant that's survived more than 6 weeks at my house. We'll see if we get through the winter. We're trying it in a wicking bucket. The deal will be getting that rosemary access to sunlight once it comes inside for the winter, because it's not in the ground, it's in a wicking bucket. But I do have grow lights.
You do have grow
I
lights.
have
I have
grow
some
lights.
too, and I don't know when I'm going to set those up. So
Okay.
There's actually 3 rosemary plants in wicking buckets, and I've got another 3 or 4 cuttings.
Hi, Dory.
Hi, Dory.
Yep. So we use that money to buy stuff. What about the other stuff? Like, do we just onesie twosie on the things that we don't all use? Like Tactical and I both like to have summer sausage, for example.
I like that too.
I know,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I'm just trying to use it for example. Or like, we just bought half a pig from School Bell Farm. I put like $100 in, he put 200 something into the meat, and that's all in the freezer. And we've never really formally calculated what's up. Or with the chickens, I bought the chickens and Tactical bought the food. That's kind of how we've been doing that, and it just kind of all works out.
Maybe we use a sign out sheet, and then the imbalance is corrected at the end of the month or whatever.
It's like what I'm doing with him is we have just our names in columns and dollar amounts of what we've bought. And the one thing he bought, he never told me how much it was, so I just guessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else, man?
2 spices.
That was like $2.
Okay. Anyway, so we just have that
Oh
running
my
tally.
god! I spent like $2 on spices.
Little man keeps waving at you guys. Hi, little man. Dawn says hi, Ginger.
That's actually Sunny that you hear.
Yeah, that's my dog being a dick.
Hey, watch your language on YouTube.
I
YouTube gets mad when you say stuff. Anyway,
I
so
used a polite word instead of a not polite
so one
word.
thing, so there's the cow that's coming, right?
Yeah.
So I buy a cow. Well, my friend buys a cow, and then she stores it in my freezer, and we share it. We weigh all the pieces and put a price on every one or a weight on every one, and then every time I take meat out of the freezer, I write on the board a dollar amount that I owe her. And then eventually she comes over and gets coffee, and then we subtract coffee from that. But she like pays for the cow up front. And at the end of the year, when it's time for the new cow, if I owe her $200 or whatever, I just give her the $200 and we zero out again. We could start doing that, but I've got a lot of meat stored already. So, and then when the venison comes, I don't know how to, because it's just like we all work on the venison. Sometimes there's 2 ways venison has arrived to date. One, my one neighbor who has a hunting license wants the antlers, but not the meat. And so he takes the antlers and delivers the body. And then these 2 string it up outside and skin it and quarter it and put it in the fridge. And then I let it chill and then I process it. So like everybody's putting work in on the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's putting work in on the chickens. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like I need to be down to the cent on this is my point.
Yeah.
You know.
Or maybe
I
we
think
just
so.
figure it in at a different rate than or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and then like we had windfall chickens come this week. So we'll just share those. There are 6 chickens that were too small for processing from School Bell Farm on processing day. And if you raise birds for meat, you know, you want them 4 pounds or more, probably. You kind of want them closer to 6 pounds, but if they're too small on processing day, it costs more to process the bird than you can sell the bird for if you're selling by weight. And when you do, let's say, 100 birds at once, keeping 6 back that aren't quite big enough, it's too much work. You're putting as much work into those 6 birds as you did into the 100 birds almost. And so he was like, hey, do you want these? Because otherwise I'm feeding them to my pigs. And so then we took them because we can fatten them up for another 2 weeks and just process them ourselves. So for a little bit of work, a little bit of food that we already have, and the acceleration of the timeline of the chicken tractor building, we have 6 chickens. Well, I mean, 1 chicken feeds us, right? We might have to go to 2 chicken nights, huh? With 6 people.
I don't know. Why not?
How'd the duck do?
Hey, Tactical, did you eat any duck?
Yes.
Then, yeah, it fed everybody.
It fed everybody.
Yeah.
But you had meatloaf, too.
I did have meatloaf, too.
So,
Yeah, 2 chickens, then probably. So, everybody's asking me what's in my mug. It's coffee. It's Holler Roast coffee. Get yours at hollerroast.com.
yeah, she's having coffee. I can't have any more coffee today. Bad idea. Okay, what do we got? Lots to learn and take away from the Holler regarding community and chicken. Yeah, we have a chicken processing workshop on September 21st. That's going to be the meat birds we're raising that hopefully they're still alive on the 21st. Yeah, that's always, you know, the first 2 weeks of the baby chickens is when they most likely die. We've made it through a week. Everybody's still alive. The chickens are a week and a half old, and they're doing well. And no, it's not Holler roasting anything. We're alcohol free this evening.
are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a beer, but you don't count because you're the weird one. What other thoughts do you have on pantry stuff?
I think it's going to be beneficial to be able to buy in bulk,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
from the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Whereas other times you go in and like, wow, that's a really good deal. What am I going to do with 2 full bushels of beans?
That time I got 120 pounds of tomatoes. Remember that last year?
Yeah.
Dawn's children remember that last year.
That was the never-ending tomato story.
It was that was a tomato assembly line. It was a tomato assembly line. So, hey, who's just gotten there on? Oh, Bowser Journal's on. Okay, so I'm going to change topics. By the way, if you want to add any questions, put them in all caps in the comments if it's a question for us so I can see it. It's a trick I learned from Unloose the Goose, because then I can tell it's not just you guys snarking at me. It's like, oh, I actually have a question. If you put it in all caps, I can read it.
Also, don't snark at us in all caps, because then we'll think you yelled at us.
I might yell at you back.
No, it's not that kind of channel. Okay, so we're in week 2 of sort of this rotating dinner during the week. What do you guys think of that approach?
Confusing.
Wait, Nighthawk just disappeared. He needs another beer to answer this question. So what's your thought? What do you like it? Don't like it? Like, what are your thoughts on the roving dinner?
I like it. It's kind of interesting going to different places
Yeah?
for dinner. Of course, you did get me to start cooking again once a week too by doing this.
It was a brilliant move, wasn't it?
You had me in there, then I snuck my way out. Now you got me back in.
So are you trying to cook new things that you've never cooked before? 2 weeks in. First week he did something he knows everybody likes, is familiar, right?
Yeah.
And then second week?
I did something else I know how to cook.
Okay. Are you going to try something new next week?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah. Tactical, go ahead.
I really want to make, and I probably will make some liver and onions. And I just got to figure out something else to make for the other people that don't like liver and onions.
There's a question. Who's the best cook?
That's what I'm saying.
She's pretty good. There was a duck glaze tonight that was pretty to die for.
I don't know.
It was tasty.
I
tasty.
think I need a couple more months of testing before I'm willing to.
We both do okay. We're
that.
gonna share that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, I'll share the title of best cook.
Tactical makes really good saute.
He-
though. His saute
he's
last night was
saute gifted.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you cook keto? Yes, I cook keto. So what I made this week was, what did I make this week? Lamb. Oh, I made I made a Moroccan stew, which I ketoized by changing out. Like I left some root vegetables in there, but I pulled them out and had other vegetables in there instead. And it had like ginger and cinnamon and. Should I stop there?
I don't know.
Okay.
My kids know not to intervene at this point.
Okay. And it has those sorts of things. And then as you know how you put things over rice, I did caller rice. And then we had rice from Chinese food night. So I put that out for the carb people. So that was pretty good. Okay. Tactical, could you stop that, please? We're on a live stream and you're making lots of noise. Okay. So I cook keto. I think everybody has been cognizant of the different dietary needs, right? Like I don't put a bunch of cheese and stuff because dairy. I don't put peanuts in because there's a peanut allergy. One of the kids doesn't really like onions, so we're cutting onions big so he can
Pick them out.
take them out. And yeah.
So I like it because I get to come home to a hot meal every day after working.
Yeah.
So
Without any effort.
yeah, like it's really nice because I'm like my job is really physically demanding. So I come home and there's food and like so we've been trying to have dinner at 6:00 every night, which has been
A little bit of a push.
yeah, it's been a little bit of a push.
We're used to eating at like 7 to 8 because that's kind of when the sun's going down. So
Yeah.
it was earlier when the sun was going down earlier.
Yeah.
But then she has kids who have to go to bed and get up in the morning for school. So we moved it to 6.
Yeah.
And then you're not home by 6.
I'm not home by 6. Yeah. So it's good for me in that I get to still have like a hot home cooked meal, and not like have to stress out about coming home and cooking and if my kids have been fed or whatever. And then the day that I'm off, I get to cook. So
Yeah.
So it all works out.
We did have a fun game of Pass the Duck today.
We did.
We kept going back and forth on who was going to cook the duck.
Yeah.
Because today was
crazy.
it was crazy starting at 11:30.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah.
Any other questions before we sign off, guys? I know you want the thermostats back.
Yeah. We can't have thermostats at Yonder Base Camp.
Yonder Base Camp?
Yeah, Base Camp Yonder, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thermostats, huh? We can put
Base
thermostats
yonder.
in here.
No, we're not.
That does not match her
It does
decor
not, it does
aesthetic.
not go
We're
with
gonna
my
have
aesthetic.
thermostats next time.
Unless
we do
they're
it.
really nice, like I don't know, those Mercury ones are pretty awesome. I'm not
Yeah.
to get down with some of that, but
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on the shared pantry experiment. It'll give us some more to talk about and let you guys know how it goes. I know with the shared cow that it works pretty much seamlessly. And that's pretty cool. And so then it's just a matter of making sure we communicate with each other during this process. So if somebody feels like this isn't working for me, they can have an exit strategy. And I think that's important too. So how do you handle the cleanup duties?
no, that's a good one.
Well, let's get tactical back in here.
Too many.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, if you use a dish, you clean a dish, right? So if you use a dish, you clean the dish. And what we did last week is pretty much the person who cooked also cleaned. And what happened is the person cooking decided it was a bummer that they also had to clean. Is that right? Or
I cleaned up most of my dishes.
and most of us kind of clean. We're talking about how do we handle cleaning in the shared meal thing. So what kind of happened this week? We wanted to talk about having a separate cleaning crew from the cooking crew, but not doing it in a way that if you cook, you end up with the mountain of dishes like that's taller than your head. Like cook respectfully like you do. And then have people kind of do that last pass of making sure the food's put away. If somebody's not there, which Jenny's the one most likely not to be there, but once last week I was not there on time because of a board meeting, you put their plate aside for them and then all the food can go away. And people who want seconds who are late like that know that you're going to have to go into the fridge, basically. So that it's not somebody staying up super late, but then it's also not... it's not a mess for the person who's hosting, because what's no fun is waking up in the morning. So we're still kind of working that out. This week went better. I think all of us were just a little bit more cognizant of doing dishes at other people's house. So, which is to say we shouldn't leave all that back there, guys.
Yeah.
Today.
And I do try, like, especially throughout the day when I go in her house and I'm doing stuff, you know, I try to, like, if there's a bunch of dishes in the sink, I try to, like, wash dishes throughout the day.
Yeah.
Just to take a load off of her.
Which helps. And my dishwasher's broken again. So everything at my house is by hand right now, which is something I would like to remedy before the end of the year. But here's where I'm stuck. A, it costs money. B, every modern dishwasher I've had for the last 10 years has not been that great. So I have been meaning to put a call out on the show and a post out on Facebook saying, tell me about the dishwashers you like and why. I've got hard water. I've got weird drains, so that I think that's part of why dishwashers don't work as well at my house. The one I had in most recently I got for $50, and it was really old and it worked really well because it uses a lot of water. So using water seems to be a thing. And these like water saving machines, when you have super hard water, they just don't clean the dishes. Even like I got to the point where I was pre-soaping everything and putting it in, and then it kind of got them clean. And it was like, well, why bother using the thing, you know? So the one that used a lot of water did a much better job. So.
Who said what?
Brian said you could scrub the dishes with your beard.
Not Frigidaire. Crystal says not Frigidaire. And I had a Bosch. The Bosch worked for like a year and then it stopped working very well. Even with the special little dish detergent pellets. And then what happened is like that powdered detergents in my gray water system, not good. Liquid is the way to go. So use the water. I need gaskets for it or something.
This is apparently kind of steel wool. So
just use his beard.
Yeah.
I can use this to scrub stuff.
Yep, they have ones with built-in softeners. That's a great idea. The other idea I had, I was at a church. My choir did a buffet dinner for another choir that was coming into town, and we served it at a church. And the church had this big of a commercial dishwasher, like, you know, the kind that you clamp down, you go, and it takes like 2 minutes and it sterilizes, and then you slide a tray in, you slide a tray out. It was not like the big giant ones that you see in restaurants, but it was like a little consumer-ish size, but it was commercial, and it was designed to do that. The way those work is you pre-clean the dishes to get all the crud off them, and then you put them in the sterilize, and then you bring them out, right? Well, that almost seems like a genius idea in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Like with the counter that like water flows downhill into the sink. Like everything about that seems genius. I have a feeling it's out of my price range and I don't know where to look for such a thing. And it would have to be like, I'd be really bummed to put one of those in and then 2 months later I got to repair it like I did with my coffee roaster, right? So, and then I'm out of a dishwasher again, which is no fun. So
we can't answer AutoFab's question because he didn't type it in all caps.
Yeah.
We don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer to that anyway. Maybe never, AutoFab. Maybe never. I have something to try next time I'm out. With my dishwasher? Okay. Oh, on the gaskets. Water. He's on the water softener. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't gotten the water softener up and running yet. We will. I haven't tried that hard. I need to get the plumber out to install the tankless heater, which is part of the whole final chapter of my solar hot water system, which is going to get to the point where I don't get to use it this year if we delay much longer. Like right now is peak make hot water time on Nicole's roof, and it's not being done. So yeah. Any other questions before we sign off, guys? Okay. Thanks for joining us. We're trying to have a topic every time. If there are topics you're interested in, don't drop them in these live chat comments. Put them on the comment of the video or email me, Nicole at livingfreeintennessee.com. Also, we're trying to push to 1,000 followers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And if you think some of your friends would like the channel, have them subscribe too. Make it a great week.